We're gonna have a good time.
Really a good time.
Having some good time.
Good times.
A really, really good time.
A real good time.
We're having a good time.
If you could describe the King's Plate in one word, what would it be?
Exhilarating.
Epic.
They're off in the Queen's Plate.
Historic.
They go.
You look up at the grandstand and you see it full to the brim. I take that opportunity to appreciate it for what it is. The fans being there to witness history.
History recreated on that day, and it would be a dream come true. I don't know what words I'll be able to use to express that, but I guess at that time comes I'll be able to find something to say.
Be a dream come true, you know, when you train racehorses in this country like I have done for now 40 years. It's something you always, you know, aspired to and dreamt about.
It's a hard race to win. To me, it's the equivalent of a hockey player trying to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a huge career highlight. Winning something like that would be forever in my memories.
I think knowing that they've written their names in the history books and it's going to be there forever, I think when you see the look on their face when they get handed that trophy, that'll tell you everything you need to know about what it means to win the King's Plate.
What are you looking for right now?
My horse is over there training, so I'm just paying attention to him.
35,000 followers of the Sport of Kings jam Toronto's Woodbine Park for the 92nd running of the King's Plate.
The race has been always in keeping with who the ruling monarch is, so it's changed over a period of time when someone has passed away and then someone else has succeeded on the throne. King's Plate, the last one was 1951, and then from 1952 to 2022 it became the Queen's Plate, and now it's back to being the King's Plate. It's outlasted wars, it's outlasted pandemics, and it's really seen so many different ways that it's been run, different distances, different racetracks, but throughout all of that, whatever it's been done, there is still that singular identity to it, which is the biggest race in Canada.
I came to Canada actually in 1970. I won the Queen's Plate here in 1976. I'm still standing up, I'm still here. So, you know, finished up winning 8 of them, and now we've gone into the King's Plate. So it'd be nice to try to get one of those before I pack it in. But
King's Plate's meaningful in the sense it's so prestigious and it makes you take that step back and reflect. And I remember coming here when I was a kid to watch these races and to dream about, you know, competing, not in the King's Plate, not in the Queen's Plate. You know, those were dreams of dreams.
Well, it's the ultimate horse race in Canada. Longest running race, biggest purse, most prestigious.
It's a lifelong dream. I mean, my first year in Canada, I was able to watch Griffith win. I remember watching it from the bleachers over there on top of the hill, and the thrill still excites me. Kauko Kaipu, he's a gem. I mean, he's a horse of a lifetime. He's been training well and taking me places I've never been before. I'm watching how he's gotten into the frame. He's not fighting the rider, he's relaxed. Occasionally he's throwing his head, trying to break the rider's fall. Tells me he's keen and enjoying his job. I grew up in Barbados. I would say right now there's about 200 to 250 of us back here. And we're all stems from who didn't come in 87, came 89 to 90. Then some of us had kids who are back here now. So there's about 2 generations of Barbadians back here.
I think Woodbine considers itself extremely fortunate to have the number of people that are part of our racing industry here in Woodbine from Barbados. We wouldn't be what we are without them. It's really nice that we have a very diverse backstretch. I think that's one of the things that makes us really stand out in the world. And that Bajan population is something I know that we're all proud of, and it's everyone is welcome and everyone is the same. And I guess when you get to the bottom line of it all, you're looking at just good horse people that do extremely well in racing. Yeah, Ricky Griffith, who comes from Barbados, he is the epitome. It could be an oft-used term and maybe overused, but he is a trailblazer for people coming over from Barbados.
Ricky respected my ability with horses from day one. I mean, we'd have conversations, he'd ask me questions when he started out. My ability to work with horses was something Ricky respected, as I respect his ability. His dad, his son, and I'm very close to the family, one day said, he asked Ricky, "Dad, why isn't Ted your assistant trainer?" And Ricky simply said, "Ted, the problem with Ted is Ted's not a people person. Until Ted figure out how to handle people, he's gonna be a little challenging for him." And that stuck in my mind, and so I took a step back and looked at the big picture. And here I am today.
Fortunately, Ricky got diagnosed with ALS, and just over time, it really took its toll on him. Yeah, less than a month before the King's Plate, Ricky passed away, and I know that was tough on everybody because the celebrations were there for the King's Plate, and I'm sure everybody would have wanted him to be around.
Ricky Griffith was the stalwart. He was the one who made the move to be here first. He paved the way, he set the tone. I mean, all those narratives, Ricky was the man. A group of us came here late 80s. Ricky Griffith being the trailblazer, it would be an honor to dedicate our race family.
On this day, we celebrate Canada's most prestigious race, the 164th running of the King's Plate. God save the King!
So this is a real special one for me. It's a sellout here. It's an amazing event, always has been. I know the sports landscape has changed a lot in and around Southern Ontario and the GTA, but the Queen's Plate and what Woodbine means to the community, it hasn't changed at all. So it's always an honor to come down here.
So this is our first big plate since 2019, and today we have over 9,000 guests in the grandstands and our dining rooms. So the most important thing for us to do when we host guests here is to make sure that they have the best time viewing the racing product on track. Of course, all of the dining rooms are amazing. We always have concessions available. We want to make sure that people are having the best time watching the races and outside, really experiencing that live racing action.
Well, today I know it's historical that people come out dressed up in their very best to represent like the king and the queen, right? So this is why we kind of dressed up today.
Well, I know that, you know, the King's Plate has always been this very glamorous event, and fashion has always been synonymous with horse racing and the King's Plate. Of course, horse racing used to be kind of something that was only accessible to people of elite status, and I feel like a lot more people have access to it. So one tradition that's kind of remained true is the fashion, and I feel like people really lean into it.
Well, I mean, people love traditions and people love horse races, and then you have this spectacular, sexy event that you can come to and you can put fun things on your head and come with your friends and just have fun. So to me, when I can combine my passion for creating beautiful things, little sculptures of art that I can put on your head, and you can come somewhere like Woodbine's King's Plate, I mean, it's the perfect day.
The best part about the King's Plate is that you've got the sports, but you've also got the style on the other side. And I mean, especially for the women, this is the day that you get to play dress up, and it's just an opportunity to show a side that you never get to show. Like, I don't know what kind of parties you go to, but I don't get to dress up for like this when I go to parties, right? So to be able to turn out and show up at an event, both the men and the women, I might add, it makes this a unique sporting event.
There's just so much that goes on. It's really one of those events that you can go and people watch. You can see all the different outfits, but the food now and the drinks and just everything surrounding it, all the events, and everywhere you turn, there's just something to see.
Today is the absolute best day of the year we could have. It's the King's Plate, and the betting is a big aspect of it. We hope to exceed last year's handle of over 13 million, 13.6 to be exact. We hope to break that record this year, and we have a great turnout. We've sold out days before, so with a little luck, we will beat that handle.
I will say that if I am watching, especially if I'm betting on this race, this would be Christmas came early. Yeah, it's like opening a Christmas present. You take your chances, but I can't say that there would be too many in there that I would be overly shocked if they won.
Ready 2. We're going live in 3, 2, 1. Ready 2. 2 up.
Biggest production of the year by far. Between our in-house production and our TSN CTV production, we are looking at probably between 20 and 35 cameras covering the action.
Being a part of the Kings Plate broadcast team is about as good an assignment as you're likely to get as a broadcaster. I mean, this is the race. It's the Kings Plate now, but this race is iconic. This is a race that's been around since 1860. You look at the grandmas and the grandpas and the parents and the generations that have not only attended this race, but to be able to bring it to the country coast to coast is like, this is what you want.
You guys have about 3-4 minutes. About 4 minutes.
I was expecting some nerves to kick in, but still pretty chill. The moment is bigger than I am. I mean, I looked over there are about 60 people from Barbados.
Hail Guy Boo, could it be his day as he goes out to run in the Kings Plate?
This year's Kings Plate was extremely interesting because you had a large field, 17 horses. When you have a race with that many horses, it's going to be very interesting at the beginning. The jockeys will be jockeying for position. And before the race starts, they'll be speaking with the trainers about how they want the race to play out. So you'll have 17 different riders with 17 different approaches.
So you kind of want to have that buttery fly feeling, anxiousness, nervousness. If you don't have that in those big situations, what's wrong with you? Like, what kind of blood do you have running through you?
Okay, guys, let's go. Well, I mean, you're in the hands of the racing gods once that gate opens, and you never know what's going to happen when you get that gate opens. You know, you can have all kinds of plans on, you know, who's going to be the pace and where you're going to sit and this and it. Doesn't work that way. But not very often anyway. You know, so it really comes down to the jockey.
You look up at the grandstand and you see it full to the brim. You know, you have to keep your horse calm. There's that moment for them where they look up the grandstand too. Some of these horses have never seen this kind of crowd and this energy. It radiates.
And they're off in the Kings Plate. A fantastic break.
I think when you watch a race like the Kings Plate especially, watch the jockey's hands. Just watch their hands and watch their body. Is it still? Could you put a saucer or a plate on their back? When Patrick came around the turn, he was still. So when he came around the turn, I knew it was going to take something special to track him down. Around that turn and the way his hands were compared to everyone else's, Patrick was just still and confident, and you could tell the horse was still running confidently as well.
What a brilliant race. Let's go to Alana, who's standing by with the winner, Patrick Husbands.
Patrick, congratulations. Just describe the emotions right now to win the first Kings Plate in over 70 years.
Great feeling. I donate this race to Ricky Griffith, who have all the riders here from the Caribbean, all the grooms, you know. This race is for Ricky, is not for me.
I think when Patrick won that race, it was certainly no surprise to see him dedicate that to Ricky, because Patrick probably would not be in that winner's circle or have the success that he's had, and none of the people that came over from Barbados would have the success they had without Ricky Griffith.
The fact that Ricky's mentioned was appealing and well-deserved. For him to do that on such a big stage was rewarding, I would say. First Kings Plate, first horse I purchased, and pointed to that from day one, and I got there. Lots of good memories. I mean, it was a dream come true and an accomplishment.